What up, famski? This is New Bedford's friendly neighborhood resident Portuguese thick boy Eric Lima here, coming at you with another video episode from my secondary YouTube channel vlog, in which I present to all of you my sentimental thoughts come from my heart and my soul, and my mental oddball shenanigans come from my mind and brain. This is EML77 TV, episode 935, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually wearing the shirt that on the last episode that I talked about. I figured, this is the 30th anniversary of Home Alone. Speaking of Christmas movies and whatnot, there is word getting around that, unfortunately, some sad news for all of us nostalgic people out there, all of us old school Christmas fans. As you know, this has been a year of traditions going out the window, unfortunately. The latest tradition going out the window is the Peanuts Christmas specials, the holiday specials. Apple TV Plus bought the rights to the Peanuts library. So unfortunately, they decided that all the holiday specials that aired on the major networks will no longer be aired again. And unfortunately, and a lot of us are not very, very happy about it, myself included. But there is a website, a change.org petition to try to bring them back, and hopefully Apple TV would share those holiday specials. Now, the Halloween one, the Great Pumpkin Patch, I'm not a big fan of Halloween. I'm not a humongous fan of Halloween. Although this year since it's on a Saturday, since I have Saturdays off, will mark the first Halloween I have off. So there's that. But here's another thing that we're going to do around here. But the Thanksgiving Christmas specials I like. So I have decided that even though the Peanuts thing, it could mean other holiday specials could go out the window too, unfortunately. But the good news is the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving Christmas specials I found in the Internet Archives. I liked them to my Internet Archive page, and I ended up downloading them just in case, so I can watch them whenever I can. So bearing that in mind, and give me a second here, and I got to upload this and Easy Store, and here we go. All right. So okay, and I'm up. Okay. I'm sorry. I got to do a lot of... So I have decided to do this. I have compiled my personal top 10 favorite holiday specials. And as you know, Home Alone is my favorite Christmas movie of all time, but tied 1 and 2. They're my favorite Christmas movies of all time. So I decided my personal top 10 favorite holiday specials. And that means Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I have compiled a list, and here they are. Now, I'm going to mention the honorable mentions first, and I figured I need to address them right away. Frosty the Snowman, the reason why I put that down, the Ranking Bass, as the honorable mention, because it had a sad scene, which I cried when I was a kid when it happened, when Frosty melted, and because the evil magician wanted his hat back, and he's doing whatever it takes to get it back. But Santa decided to save the day, but still, that was like the saddest scene ever when the little girl Karen was crying, unfortunately, and that's her actual name in the cartoon. The Fat Albert Christmas Special. Now, the reason why I did not put it on my top 10 list, as you know, a lot of controversy surrounding the man who created Fat Albert, and that would be Bill Cosby. He's in jail for basically sexual harassment, and unfortunately, if I didn't mention him, I don't want anybody crying, "Oh, you're a racist. You don't like Bill Cosby." I used to like Bill Cosby when I was a kid. I like the Noah part, But then you have the other people. It's like, why'd you mention Bill Cosby? He's in jail. He's a predator. He's all this. Yeah, but and that's the thing. This one was real tough for me not to put him on the list, or not to put his the Fat Albert Christmas Special. But this is not about Bill Cosby. It's about Fat Albert. All right, I like the cartoon and what it stood for at the time. And remember, before all this controversy that happened to Bill Cosby, he was a great comedian. He was a great, actor. He was a great you know, cartoonist. You know, he created Fat Albert, and Fat Albert was one of the cartoons. So I am, you know, I'm not disregarding what he did now and what's happened to him now. You know, it's really sad, and it's also, but it shows to prove also that our childhood is part of our childhood's dying. Now I can go and blame the millennial punks for doing this, and blame all the the greedy people that try to get at Bill Cosby for it. I can just be angry at anybody, but you know what? It is what it is, unfortunately. But that's why I didn't put Fat Albert Christmas Special in my top 10 because of the controversy surrounding the creator of Fat Albert, meaning the creator of Fat Albert, meaning Bill Cosby. So that's why I did not decided not to put it in the top 10, even though it's one of my favorite Christmas specials to watch. It's pretty funny, though. One of the jokes, you know, you remind me of cat eating lemons. Cat eating lemons, yeah, sourpuss. And the other one, you remind me of school on vacation time. School on vacation time, yeah, no class. And you know, but it had a great moral story to the whole thing too. It's so like it's like, you know, it's like a little bit of part Christmas Carol roll into one there, with Mr. Tyrone being the Scrooge part of the deal, and you know, and the boys having the clubhouse having a young couple. The mother's supposed to have another baby, and then the kid runs away from his parents and all. So it's like many Christmas stories roll into one, basically, in an urban type setting. But at the same time, though, unfortunately, the reason why I did not put it on the top 10 list because of the person surrounding the character, and if I do, people will complain either way. That's what I'm trying to get at here, and I don't want to, you know. That's why But remember, this is my personal top 10 favorite holiday specials. It's my personal top 10. It's not everybody else's. I know what the consensus on Bill Cosby is. I understand, but like I said, my personal list. I'm putting them as honorable mentions. That way, nobody will get upset with me or troll me about it. You know, I figured it was one of the best. I'm not looking at the man who created it. I'm looking at the cartoon itself and the special what it stood for at the time. So remember, this happened back 70s, 80s. All right, and that's before everything hit the fan right here, right now. And I think a lot of people, have failed and also fail to realize is that. Listen, some of us like to look back in the old days because look what's going on in the world now. You think we want to? Think we ask for this? Whatever. So let's get to the list before I get really cranky because it's been a rough day for me and my family. Definitely. So okay. Let's go. Number 10. Santa Claus is coming to town. I like this one. It's how Santa Claus came about. A baby was left at the North Pole, that type of deal. They say show him love, raise him, and they named him Kris Kringle. And they had a necklace that said Claus on it. And then all of a sudden, there you got Burgermeister. Burger don't want any toys, don't want fun, always in a grumpy mood. Maybe something happened to him in his childhood. And, he keeps tripping on toys and all that good stuff. And all of a sudden, no more toys. And then it got to the point where he arrested everybody associated with Santa Claus, and except for Miss Jessica, a school teacher who cared about the kids, and then Winter Warlock. You got Topper the Penguin. Winter Warlock magic feed corn, fed it to the reindeer, and they flew. And then they helped, everyone escaped. And they decided, well, we'll move to the North Pole, have a bigger house, make the toys. And then Santa grew up, and then they changed his name to Santa Claus, and the whole 9 yards. And him and Miss Jessica got married, and she became Mrs. Santa Claus. And you got Fred Astaire, the mailman, talking the story. Rankin and Bass, they do a lot of excellent Christmas specials. Definitely Rankin and Bass. Number 9, another Rankin and Bass classic, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You talk about another moral of the story right here. You got Rudolph, who's been laughed at because he had a red nose that glows and all that, and you got Hermie the Elf, who wants to be a dentist. If I think of Hermie, I'm talking about The Rock and Kevin Kelly's promos, which is pretty funny to say the truth. It's a little bit of an Attitude Era thing. He wants to be a dentist instead of being Elf, and the head elf was angry and upset. And then all of a sudden, he's about had enough being made fun of, ridiculed. He says, "I'm on my own now. I'm leaving." Rudolph's doing the same thing, and they try to run away from their problems. I tried doing that back in the mid '90s. I had to struggle, being here, moving into this new house and everything else, trying to adjust to new life, and I had struggled trying to fit in and everything. So I kind of felt like what Rudolph and Hermie felt back in the day, And all of a sudden, everything's happening at home. And it got to the point where Rudolph came back, all grown up. They had to confront the abominable snowman and everything else. And, Clarice and Rudolph's mother were looking for him. Donner, Donner had was a little worried too, and then all of a sudden Rudolph came back. He said, "I'm home." Santa said, "They're out looking for you," and all of a sudden Rudolph was determined to find them, and then they confronted the abominable snowman and everything else. And you got Yukon Cornelius always tasting his pickaxe and goes nuts. And Frog is thick as peanut butter. You mean peace? You eat what you like, and I'll eat what I like, and all that good stuff. And then all of it. Then they thought Yukon Cornelius and the abominable snowman had sacrificed himself, and then ended up taking out his teeth. And they came back and said Bumbles bounce, and then all of a sudden Santa was worried about the weather report that it's going to be a snowstorm, and he was canceling Christmas, and Rudolph's nose glowed, and he said, and then you got the Island of Misfits Toys, King Moonrazer, and the gang, basically another good story is they all, it's called fitting in, and we're all unique in our own ways, and we're all special in our own ways. That's what Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer means. That's why it's another Christmas classic. Number 8, Mickey's Christmas Carol. The debut of Scrooge McDuck. Christmas Carol was one of the school plays they did, and I played Ebenezer Scrooge, believe it or not, and I did the British accent and everything else. I screwed up on a line, though. I botched up a line. He said, I'm going to say, riding off the stone instead of riding off the wall. And that was going, because I didn't realize there's a wall there. And I think everybody picked up on it, and I didn't. So, it was great. And my brother did, my brother Tyler, did the play with me as Jacob Marley and all. The pastor's wife got everybody together. And when the school closed down, I did it first time around when the Christian school was happening. And then when the school closed down, my pastor's wife decided to do it again, but this time around, but I reprised my role as Ebenezer Scrooge in that, and it was great. It was wonderful, and it was totally awesome. So, and this Christmas Carol reminded me of that. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving at number 7. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Man. This was fun. My favorite scene was Snoopy cooking all the food. And Charlie Brown always gets himself in these of these situations, these pickles that he's in. When Peppermint Patty decided to invite herself, Marcy, and Franklin over his house for Thanksgiving. The problem is him and Sally and their parents are going to go see his grandmother for Thanksgiving. And Linus made a suggestion. Linus, as Sally likes to call him, her sweet baboo. My sweet baboo. Here's the crazy part about that is Linus is walking around holding a security blanket and sucking his thumb, and Sally's got a crush on him. How did that even happen? I'm like, it's like, does that make any sense to you, right? That's the only thing that's crazy about that part was, Sally's in love with Linus, and Linus is walking around with a security blanket and sucking his thumb. And Sally, she doesn't even care. She still likes Linus. I'm like, oh, Lord. Yeah. Oh, that's how you pick up chicks. Those walking around with security blankets and suck our thumbs. Yeah. We got a winner here, folks. I think it's pretty funny, though. And it's cute and funny at the same time. Oh, look at the line. He's rocking around with a security blanket and sucking his thumb. And here comes Sally, my sweet bamboo. And then Linus covers himself with a blanket and walks away. Oh, that was hilarious. And, and Sally's complaining about Stanley Miles. You mean Miles Standish, So, and then Snoopy went outside of the box and cooking the food, toast, popcorn, jelly beans, and all this. And Peppermint Patty's, where's the turkey, the trimmings, where's all this? And then you got the awkward setting that was set up where Franklin was sitting by himself and everybody else was sitting around. And that was a big controversy on that. After Peppermint Patty's complaining, Charlie Brown's like very ashamed of himself. And then all of a sudden he goes, but then he finds out his grandmother's invited all his friends for Thanksgiving dinner. So I think what it is really cool that she, because she might have felt all alone. She would have a lot of people probably would make her feel good. Besides Charlie Brown and his family, that's what Thanksgiving to me is all about. I think so. That's why I think she probably invited all his friends over because probably, she sees all the wonderful friends that Charlie Brown's made, and I think that's really cool. So I think that's why I like Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Number 6, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The cartoon version. I did watch the movie version with Jim Carrey in it. It was pretty good. And I like the part, Legacy, the Grinch decided to steal all this stuff, but still, the people of Whoville, the fun part about that was they still sing. They still sing Christmas songs. And then all of a sudden, he's like, I remember Grinch telling Max, like, they're still singing Christmas songs after I took all their decorations away. And realized, something? And I remember, I like the part when the Grinch goes, I think I was wrong by doing that. I'm giving all the stuff back. And then he had his heart grew 3 sizes that day, and he gives all the gifts back. And then he caught the Who roast beef and starts serving it, and being a nice guy all of a sudden has a lot of fun. That's what I like about, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Dr. Seuss. Da who promised, welcome Christmas, come this way. It was really cool. So, that's number 6. Number 5, Charlie Brown Christmas. Big thing about that is when Linus quoted Luke 2:8-14. And when he quoted it, because that's real meaning of Christmas, and and then Charlie Brown's like upset because Christmas has been commercialized, and Linus has always been like a voice of reason. Despite the fact that he had a security blanket and sucking his thumb, and despite the fact that he had to avoid Charlie Brown's sister, Sally, that's how it is, man. That's how. And then Linus comes up with the best solution. Voice of reason. Luke 2:8-14, chapter of Luke, talk about the shepherds and how they find and how to find the Christ child. It was totally awesome. I thought it was really cool. That's probably the most stone bummer about that not airing on TV this year. Corporate greed has erased the Lord from that equation for the holiday season. At a time we need it most in Apple TV Plus. Stupid idiots. Y'all just make a list. All right. Number 4, Bugs Bunny's Thanksgiving Diet. You got your usual Bugs Bunny versus Yosemite Sam. Yosemite Sam wants to cook a rabbit for dinner. And Bugs outsmarts Yosemite Sam. And then you got your Roadrunner versus Wild Coyote. Coyote starving. And he wants Roadrunner for dinner. Roadrunner outsmarts him time and time again. And then you got Bugs Bunny versus the Tasmanian Devil. Tasmanian Devil wants to cook him up while, Bugs Bunny's trying to outsmart him and outwit him. And then you got the overweight female bunny with the European accent wanting to lose weight. Bugs Bunny's trying to help her out. But then towards the end, you got this seductive another seductive female bunny with a seductive voice. Deep, deep. That's all, folks. Porky Pig there for a minute. And they say, "Can you fade the black peas?" And that's how it ends. So that's number 4. Number 3, Christmas Comes to Pac-Land. Pac-Man Christmas Special. I have it on DVD. Boom. 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 Whatever. Santa crash landed in Pac-Land, and he's hurt and all that. And Pac-Man and his friends and his family and friends are trying to help them. And you got the ghosts, and the ghosts are trying to ruin it. as usual. And then in the end, Santa is powered up. The reindeer is powered up. With power pellets, we're ready to go. All right, so that's number 3. Bugs Bunny's Looney's Christmas Tales. Again, like in the Thanksgiving diet, you got Bugs Bunny versus Yosemite Sam. The only difference is the setting. Was Yosemite Sam was the version of Christmas Carol version, with Yosemite Sam playing the Scrooge part, and Bugs Bunny trying to do everything he can to make his life miserable, and it worked. Because Porky Pig playing the part of Bob Cratchit, and you got your World Wonder versus Wile E. Coyote, which he resorted to everything, including using sled dogs to catch the Roadrunner, and everything backfires after a bunch of snow fell on him. That's number 2. So that's Bunny's Bug, and then you got so you got the bug, and then you got Tasmanian Devil landing in Bugs' house with his little nephew, trying to get some sleep, and Taz was Santa, and Bugs Bunny knew that he was out to cause a lot of trouble, so he did everything he can to make Tasmanian Devil's life a living heck. So there you go. That's number 2. And my number 1 top 10 favorite holiday special, He-Man She-Ra Christmas Special. Got that on DVD as well. In fact, I could not believe I found that DVD at Best Buy back in 2005. 15 freaking years ago I found it. Here's the deal, all right? On He-Man She-Ra Christmas Special, as you know, here's the deal. Man-at-Arms and Prince Adam were working on something called the Sky Spy, and figured a weapon to spy on Skeletor with. All of a sudden, right, Orko sneaks into the thing, and while Man-at-Arms and Prince Adam go in to finish things up, and then he puts a spell on it, makes it fly. Skeletor's trying to capture the thing on the collector, not knowing Orko was on board. And then He-Man, and then they saw the Sky Spy who activated it. I did not activate it. So He-Man went into action, and then Adora, because the whole setting was that Adam and Adora were having a birthday party. So there you are, having a celebrating a birthday party. All of Adora's friends are here and family, and all of Adam's friends. And the fun part about that section, about that area is that none of them knew they were He-Man and She-Ra. So, and when I think the part I like is when Skeletor is going after the Sky Spy and He-Man is going after Skeletor. So Prince Adam transformed to He-Man. As he ran, Adora says, "I think my brother needs some help." And she'll morph into She-Ra. They're both going to kick butt, and then all of a sudden, He-Man was in trouble. She-Ra came to save him. But then Orko put another spell, and then boom! And then boom, it disappeared. And then afterwards, Queen Marlena and Tila found one of his books at the launch pad, and then Adam put 2 and 2 together. He must have stowed away in that Sky Spy, and then actually switched on the rockets. He landed on Earth, met 2 kids who were lost, and then 2 kids were lost, and they explained Christmas to him. And then She-Ra decided, well, then he said the transport beam's not working. I need they need a water crystal, and then Adora suggested that Mermista can help out with that. She'll go, and then she let She-Ra do the thing. She-Ra talked about the water crystal, and to Mermista. Mermista says it's at a river where a beast monster is. They fought the beast monster, defeated him, got the crystal, and then the Monstroids came in. They captured her in a bubble, but then all of a sudden, after they walked away, She-Ra escaped using the sword into a flame, got the crystal back to Man-at-Arms. So So they put it in. They activated the whole thing, and the transfer beam was there in the Sky Spy. And then Alicia and Miguel went with Orko, came over, and then that started. Then that got Horde Prime a little upset and said the Spirit of Christmas could remove him from powers. He got Skeletor and Hordak to deal with the situation. They got competitive. And it was a back and forth. Hordak captures his kids and Orko first, and then the Manchines and the Monstroids got themselves involved. Manchi saved him, and then Skeletor walks away with them. Then Hordak shoots at him. It was all back and forth until at the end, Horde Prime was causing all the trouble, and so they sent He-Man and She-Ra sent him back in the space before he gets to shoot Skeletor. Skeletor saved the kids and all that. And he got all queasy about everything. And then Queen Marlena, who used to be who was an Earthling, said, "We'll celebrate a big Christmas party with the twins' birthday." They did that. Man-at-Arms gave them flying belts, and then they were transported back home safely. And they tried to tell them about the adventure, and then they said, "Parents, let's go to bed. We love you." And so they got back, and they were shocked about the flying belts. They're like, what? At the end. And it was really cool. It was my favorite all-time Christmas special. So the honorable mentions were Fat Albert Christmas Special and Frosty Snowman. I did mention that earlier. All right, let's go down one more time. Santa Claus Coming to Town, number 10. Number 9, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Number 8, Mickey's Christmas Carol in 83. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving at number 7. Number 6, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Charlie Brown Christmas at number 5. Bugs Bunny Thanksgiving Diet number 4. Christmas Comes to Pac-Land number 3. Bugs Bunny's Lucky Christmas Tales at number 2. And He-Man and She-Ra Christmas Special at number 1. My personal top 10 favorite holiday specials with the honorable mentions again. Fat Albert Christmas Special and Frosty's the Snowman. All right? These made my Christmas childhood awesome. And unfortunately now, I don't know. With Apple TV button, Christmas, Peanuts, I'm sure all the networks will be scrambling around trying to obtain every single Christmas special before things happen, all right? That's all the time we have on the show. I took a long time doing this, and I figured a lot of discussions to be made. Once again, if you're a wrestling fan, I know my family is not, but if you are a WWE wrestling fan, as you know, Hell in a Cell is coming up this Sunday. I'm making my picks and predictions on that. Tonight, NXT, week before Halloween Havoc. So that's going to go on. The NXT Tag Team titles on the line. Breezango to defend against the Undisputed Era team of Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish. Xia Li will be in action in a matchup, and we don't know who. 6-man tag among Cruiserweight action. It'll be the Legado del Fantasma. That's the Cruiserweight champ Santos Escobar. And I'm sure Jordan Devlin will be watching that match closely against with Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wild against the team of Isaiah Swerve Scott, Ashante Diadonis, and Jake Atlas. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. That will steal the show. A must-watch on that match. So, and we will happen. And then we'll find out what the deal with Johnny Gargano and the spin the wheel thing is and everything else. And Candice LeRae, Io Shirai. Lots of craziness going down. What roles will Tony Storm play? Ember Moon. You got Shotzi Blackheart hosting the dang thing for next week. You got also Indy Hartwell being in the corner of the Garganos. That's going to be something. A lot of stuff comes down before next week's Halloween Havoc. And like I said before, this coming a week from this Saturday will be my first Halloween off, and I'm just going to sit home and chill in plain clothes and just do my YouTube show, whatever. Peace. So, anyways, that's all the time. Episode 935 is complete. I will see you on episode 936. All right. Peace, love, and be blessed.